Joe Nichols, what
Hey.
are you doing, man?
I'm doing fantastic.
Can you
How
believe
doing?
all this?
All the way.
Okay,
what?
What am I not
Dude,
believing?
it's a good day for living.
That's a good day for living. I'm sorry. Yes, I've been steadily grateful. You know, I'm blown away by everything. So yes, sorry. It's you never know today what people are going to say. Can you believe this? I don't know.
No,
I got to watch the news.
I meant
Of course
you.
not.
I meant you. I mean,
Okay.
it's crazy.
Yeah. Thank you.
It is great. Well, let's go to country music historian Patrick to give us some stats. Perhaps, how unusual is it that Joe is in here right now?
For an artist to go 20 years between top 20 singles,
It's been a while.
9 years. I mean, not 20,
Nine
nine
years.
years
Oh,
between
yeah,
top
really?
20 singles. It's unusual. I can't think of more than 5.
David Lee Murphy was
Yeah,
one.
that was that's the outlier. That's the #1 song 30
Yeah.
years later.
Wow.
Yeah.
I
Good
mean,
for you,
really,
man.
that's
crazy.
you and Randy Houser are actually doing it at the same time. Like y'all are both
super
having like I'm into it.
What does that say? Does that say everybody wants you guys more?
Yes,
They're like,
I
hey,
want that
God, I
sound.
hope so.
I want,
Yeah,
I
I mean-
want that country music.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
What do you hear a lot of? Like when you're at shows, what do fans say? Like, man, thank you for what?
Keeping it country.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the #1 thing I hear people say.
also, wow, you're so tall.
Yeah. I mean, I like that one too. I wear, pretty significant heels every night for
Good
the
for you.
show. So I mean, it makes me like 6'4". Blake.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think there is a real thirst for that sound.
Yeah, I think so. In my experience over the past 21 years doing this, it's kind of gone in waves. My style is more traditional, obviously, and I'm limited to that really. But I think the wave goes to kind of pop, and it went to bro, and it went to different kinds of country, and it kind of comes back home every now and then to traditional stuff.
Did you ever feel like you had to make a choice of like to stay traditional, or I'm sure at one point they came and you said, "Hey, listen, throw some 808 drums on this, and let's call it a day."
Oh yeah, absolutely. We've cut some stuff too that thankfully nobody's ever heard, and I hope nobody ever will.
Did you have a Baby Shark era? Was there?
Man, it would be just as annoying eventually. But I mean, it is hard to resist that temptation at the end. But there's an expectation that people have of me that I have to listen to. When my mind goes, God, there's so many things that are successful, compared to what I'm doing. With like you said, the drum sounds and the weird things that are not.
Tell you a great example: New Coke.
New Coke.
People,
For all of you to remember New Coke,
if you
was a terrible idea,
and
yeah.
you were like, you know what? I like the original.
Yeah.
Just like what it was. I don't. It doesn't need to be
And
a
see,
new thing.
I was the guy who was on the other side going, man, it tastes more like Pepsi. I like it.
So you can never.
No,
You can't ever please
no, you really
everyone
can't.
all the time. That's the thing. And that's what's beautiful about music. There's a time and there's a place for everything. If you're into, you want to listen to, David Allen Coe, go for it. And that's kind of the way we feel like when we get around the fire with the guys and you're hanging out at the hunting camp or whatever, you have music on, you have these playlists on, and it's everything. There's Texas country mixed in with new stuff, mixed in with Joe Nichols, and mixed in with who knows what, Tracy Lawrence or whatever. It's just all the good songs. And I don't pick by genre or decades or era or sound. I just go, is this a good song? Yeah, it's on that playlist.
Yeah. That's what's great about today's, music world is that kind of nobody's stuck to a genre really. Everybody's kind of what's good is good to them.
Yeah,
exactly. That's it's really good.
Well, let's get it on. Joe Nichols.
Okay.
So the new one. Okay. It's called, Joe's so great.
I've heard that before, man.
Okay. It's called A Good Day for Living. Here you go. Here's Joe Nichols. Good day for living. It is Joe Nichols. He's in the studio with us. The song is available. What about a new album?
We have just begun the the beginning, process of the new album.
So were you caught off guard by the huge, quick success of Good Day for Living? Is that what you're saying?
The year-long process of getting to the top 20.
10-year overnight success.
You're right. Yeah. 84 years ago.
3 hours later.
You're like, I don't even remember that day anymore.
Yeah.
That Good Day for Living. When was that?
It's been a minute. I'm impressed and thankful every day. I was caught off. I am continually caught off guard by the success of Good Day for Living. It's like the single that could, the little single that could. It's gaining momentum everywhere we play, you know, and it's really good. It's really one of the best feelings, and I know people talk about this all the time, but when you have a new song and it starts connecting, you kind of start seeing a magic in the crowd, and they hear the intro of the song, and they get excited, and they start yelling, and then they sing in the song with you, and that feeling right there. Like I said, I've seen 100 artists talking about this, but that feeling is like validation you've never felt before professionally.
Yeah.
You know, it's just one of those. God, I did something right. Oh, all the failures I have over and over again.
And I would say that's the best thing, too, because, you know, you've got a career with all these tons of songs, right? But they're connecting with the new stuff, too. And that, I think, is cool and fun because it gives you something new, you know, when you're out there that they're singing along with.
That's, you know, like I said, it's the greatest feeling in the world to feel like you're on the right track, you know, professionally. And that's great to hear every night. It's really good to see people, you know, with the comment of, you know, it's good to see you back on the radio. It's good to hear your voice back on the radio. It would have been a couple of years, you know, so we've been on the radio. And so that's always great. I'll tell you what, anytime I want to see, you know, anytime my ego needs a boost, I just go on social media. And anytime my ego needs to really be in check, I just go on social media. I go, oh, this is a great
You're
comment.
terrible,
oh, my
Joe
God.
Nichols. I can't stand it.
I ruined country music?
You-
oh, my God.
Wait, you
did?
ruined country
I did,
music?
yeah. Oh, God, I've heard
listen,
I've
there's
heard
got to
all
be
kinds
at
of
least a dozen people before you on the list of people that ruined country
Oh,
music.
dude, I read it and I go, surely that's a bot. I mean, I've heard all the kind of surely that could not be something that somebody thought of in their basement and said, I'm going to type this right now.
Well, the problem is they only heard Baby Got Back or
That's
whatever.
exactly right.
And by the way, Baby Got Back, the way you did it was the countryest thing that came out that year.
According to Brad 123 Country,
You know what? I have.
Boise, Idaho, he
I have
disagreed
a
with
little
you.
bit of that.
Brad, give us a little bit.
Okay.
That live in the
Oh,
studio.
you do?
Yeah,
I wanna hear
we'll
this.
do
I
a
wanna
little
hear
live rewind. We're gonna hear.
Here's Joe Nichols ruined
button.
country. Okay. I like big butts and I cannot lie. All you other brothers can't deny. When a girl walks in with the nitty bitty waist and a round thing up in your face, it gets wrong. You have no idea how hard it was to not laugh.
Oh, I know.
I'm like, we're not really doing this, are we?
Yeah, we're really,
Really
we
doing
were
it.
like, oh, yeah, we think this is great. And you're like, oh, my God, I'm a real artist, guys. I'm a real artist.
You know what, though? For the
I got
people who-
Grammy nominations. This is beneath me.
How can anybody say that wasn't country? You're the only artist to this day to bring a steel guitar player into this studio. You're the only guy.
Is that right?
Yes. I don't recall anyone else ever having a steel guitar
I
player.
think you're right.
And we made a huge deal out of it because he was the first steel player we ever had in here. We
I
made
think
him
you're
play.
right,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was great.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
It stands out.
All right. Well, speaking of social media, you can follow Joe at Joe Nichols and on Twitter and all his other socials as well. All right, Joe Nichols with us. We're coming right back. Hang on. Joe Nichols in the studio with us. We're celebrating Good Day for Living and looking for a new album from Joe sometime, available when it's available.
Way off, yeah. we're way
Available
off.
when available.
Yeah, we just now started a song process. It's going to take a while for
right.
for
But the
new
Good Day for Living album is out.
album. The Good Day for
So-
Living album is out. That's
Yeah.
right.
Lots
What do
of
you
great
do
stuff
with
on that.
What do you do with all the old stuff? Like, obviously there's songs that you cut from albums, and you're like, this one just isn't going to make it. What do you do with all that? Does it just go into the
Yeah.
abyss?
Man, I always wanted to put an album together of the greatest unhits. Some kind of mashup of an album full of songs that I thought should have been singles that we never put out. I just think we've left so many songs on so many albums that should have been singles. On back to my first album, Man with a Memory, and That Would Be Her, Joe's Place. A lot of those songs just kinda stayed put. And I've thought about re-recording some of those, because there's such good songs. Those songwriters deserve a hit. They didn't deserve.
I like the greatest unhits.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The whole. That's,
That Would Be Her is such a great song.
What did you
Go
have
check that out? Okay, before Joe leaves, I want to point out that Joe Nichols, like all four of us in here, started out as a country music DJ on a
did.
country music radio station. All
I
of
was
us
a top
except
40 DJ.
well, we were all DJs though, doing our own, just being DJs. And I don't know if this is a good opportunity. Did you ever work outside of country radio? Did you ever do
No.
any other formats?
No, and I
Did
didn't
you
even
know
do that well in country.
Carson is the greatest light rock disc jockey that is not currently working in that format. Because I wanted to see if you could do maybe a little competition. We'll let Carson show you her her chops at introducing random light rock records.
Okay,
It's something we
okay.
like to do here from
Okay.
time to time.
All right, well,
Like,
let Bubba prep up here.
Yeah, we go. Show you what Carson can do.
You're listening to The Light. I'm Carson. Thank you so much for letting me be a part of your workday. The best way to get through these days is we've got each other. We're doing it together. And this is somebody. Chicago. I didn't know who the band was.
Let's let Carson do another one just because it's so much fun.
Oh my God.
Here we go.
All right.
She just becomes another person.
Did you know today is National Napping Day? So give yourself a break. Take 10 minutes.
It's always there's like a wellness liners that they do.
Ooh, what is that?
Jerry Rafferty, Baker Street.
Oh, yeah.
Oh
With
yeah.
a saxophone.
Man, I can hear you doing this, Joe. Like singing it.
I've never heard this before. Jerry
Oh,
Rafferty?
you're gonna know when
You'll
it
know
kicks.
the
the
sax.
sax kicks
Yeah.
in right here.
Yeah, it does the whole.
okay.
Yeah.
The dude in, was it Lost Boys? Was that the big?
No, but you know the sax guy from
Yeah,
Lost Boys. I
yeah.
know who you're
Like the
talking
only
Every lady knows
famous
the Sax Boys from.
Okay, yeah. I remember this.
Nobody knows who sings this song, but everybody knows that.
I can hear a Joe Nichols country version of this.
Yeah. It's kind of got a Bad Company vibe, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Bad Company.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know. We got sidetracked here.
Yeah. Sorry.
What were we doing again?
Joe Nichols, he's got hit after hit after hit after hit. He's
I know
back
I've
in the top 20, and life is good.
Yeah. I know I've told this story before, probably years ago, but I was standing next to Joe when you first broke through, and maybe on your second single, we were at a bar during one of these conventions, and some guy walked up and goes, "We see you as somebody who's got real crossover potential." And Joe looked at this guy and goes, "Are you stupid? I can sing Back in Black and make it sound like a guy from Georgia wrote it." I've never forgot that.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's not a whole lot. of
Right
crossover.
on, yeah, you're the countryest dude. You're one of the countryest dudes out there.
I
Because
appreciate
you sang
that.
"Baby Got Back" and you made it country.
I
There you go.
appreciate that. Thank you.
Well, check out Good Day for Living, and then we look for a new albums. Sometime you never know.
Yeah.
You can follow him, Joe Nichols, on all the social medias. Dude, so good to see you again.
Good to see you guys.
And always wish you the best. Joe Nichols, everyone.
Wow, we have videos, lots of them, more than just the one you watched. We got more and more and more and more.
Yeah, subscribe, hit the notification bell, or we'll tell your mom.